Hello, hello. Happy Tuesday, everybody. It's me here again, Cloud Hudson, your meteorologist and, vibe checker extraordinaire. This is today, Tuesday. I almost said August. Tuesday, January 9th, 2024. I've got a new style of taking notes. Check out my bullet journal layout for this. I've got from the center of the earth outward. This is what we're going to be talking about today. This is a journal that says to do, be awesome. And I am. And you are too, because you're watching this. That's not what makes you awesome, but you must be if you're watching this. Okay. Let's just go ahead and show I've been liking doing share screen better, so we're going to continue with that. If there's any viewers out there, please say something in the comments, but I don't see any. Okay. So, first, we've got news from the Rearcast Peninsula of Iceland. The news is that it's about to blow. She's about to pop. This is one big zit that just looks so infected, and everyone's like, please get that lanced. And Iceland's like, no, I promise it'll go away. And then it's picture day, and we still have this big zit. No, what I mean by that is the Blue Lagoon opened, and I was going to call it irony's law, that kind of Murphy's law of irony. They were just pushing their luck, and they didn't get it on the first day, but I have a feeling that the longer they stay open successfully, the more people will be in danger of, if it doesn't erupt right under the Blue Lagoon, it's still going to be hard to get people out of there. And there might be volcanic ash in the area. Like, you can outrun. That's the thing about an eruption, is you can outrun the lava, but you can't outrun the smoke. You can't outrun the airborne particles. It's got all the extremes. It's got the hot extremes and the cold extremes. It's got the solid extremes and the airborne extremes. The airborne extreme is what you would really need to be on the lookout for. If you're, like, say, not in the flow of the lava, not in the path of the lava flow, but you're just like there. If you could see it, it might be dangerous. Anyway, that brings me to, I guess I'll look at map of currently active volcanoes around the world. Iceland is kind of erupting, but we, as always, have some great traces of, I like this name of, this is probably my favorite volcano name in the whole wide world. Fuego volcano. Which kind? The fire kind? Which kind of volcano? Fuego. It doesn't really narrow it down much, does it? I just love it. So the simplicity, it's beautiful. It's like minimalism. But okay. Is that what you come to this stream for? I'm still trying to figure out what we come to this stream for. Sangay volcano, let's see, said Sakurajima volcano is currently erupting. I wanted to see the webcam, but the webcam's not working on my computer. In Kyushu. It just keeps going. But the reason I wanted to look at that is because here on our earthquake map, we've got quite a bit of activity, not where the eruptions are, ironically. There's no just going to put this here. The eruptions were here on Kyushu, and the earthquakes are happening up here on the Honshu Peninsula. Again, the same place that there was that big eruption on New Year's. These just popped up today, and they are not on the peninsula. They're off the coast. They're just off the coast. And actually like right on that convergent plate boundary, which is, yeah, it was like boom, boom, one right after the other. This happened, and then this happened. And I want us to remember that that's the load and depth that we've been tossing around the whole load and depth. That's the load and depth that we've been tossing around the whole globe since that big earthquake on New Year's Day. And speaking of tossing around, I've been pointing out the places where the quakes are dropping off. Oh, look at this. Another 5, another 5. And these came, let's see. What I was going to say was the 4s are dropping off. They were dropping off like stepping stones here, here, and here. Greece and Albania is quieted down, but it's almost like when a wave hits the wall at a pool and it sloshes back. I don't know why they don't have any up in Iceland, because I've turned on all magnitudes, and Iceland itself is reporting movement, but it's not on any of the feeds on this interactive earthquake browser. But when I was talking about it the other day, about how these look like wave peaks, I was saying, let's watch out for anywhere in Turkey and northern and central Iran. And that's where we are. And they're still this is actually getting deeper, the Hindu Kush region. It was just at that 10 depth, and it looks like it's actually buckling down lower now, which to me indicates that it's moved vertically. The wave has moved vertically. But then again, 4.2, 10 kilometers depth. Oh, and I thought it was really cool that there's one now in the mid-Indian Ridge between the Indo-Australian plate, the African plate, and the Antarctic plate. Like it's another one that's just perfectly on those fault lines. And it's almost right in the center of all three, which it would be really something to see something just rise out of the earth in the middle of Madagascar. What's in this ocean, huh? What are all these straight lines doing there? Isn't this where there's that sunken ocean island of basalt? Like there's thought here off the coast of Madagascar we had some sort of, anyway, interesting stuff happening in this side of the world. And then, yeah, where we had some volcanic activity, there's also some earthquake activity here down the Chile-Bolivia border region. That's deeper than the 4s that we've been watching. Oh, we also had one of these 4s, the first one of these 10-kilometer deep 4s to bounce back this direction. They have been bouncing around here, but it's finally bounced into the Aleutian Islands. And what's that? Another 4. Well, it's not at 10 kilometers, so we can't say that. But it is in the middle of Alaska. Let's talk about something I know something about. Let's switch to, guys, I'm a meteorologist. What am I doing under the ground? I'm doing something under the ground because weather actually messes with the observation instruments. Interesting thing for the, I didn't show the hazard map, but this is the current hazard map. And this is like the uplift data. See, we are just well above where we should be. See, Daisy, I forgot my thought. I can't pick it up now, but there significant icing on the GPS monitors. All of these dots in these graphs that I showed you come from a GPS station showing how the ground is moving. It's just like a dude sitting on the ground, a little GPS dude just sitting on the ground, and he reports back how much he moves up, down, left, right, side to side. And they can have faulty data if there's atmospheric weather happening. And also the seismographs, like seismometers that make seismographs, they act up when there's atmospheric weather happening. So, and I say atmospheric weather because I want to remind us all that like earthquakes and volcanoes are part of weather too. They're just the underground weather. So we move up from the core through the crust up to what's happening on the surface. What's happening on the surface is I was right about my prediction. My forecast was verified, and my forecast was that people were going to call for a blizzard and might not happen. And what has happened? We had not so much of a blizzard. There was significant snowfall in the plains, but there apparently, from the snow aficionados out there, it's a gross one. It's like a heavy, wet, mushy, and that makes a lot of sense because a lot of this air mass hasn't remained in the freezing range long enough for it to get that nice fluffy ice. Like you want, like this to me, this screams of like rain that got slapped into cold air and just froze. And that doesn't make fluffy snow. That makes like, oh my God, I gotta be snow right now. The fluffy snow comes from a nice thick layer of like some negative 12 degrees air aloft that can make those best dendrite patterns, like the snowflakes that lock together. The more intricate the snowflake pattern, the fluffier the snow. And that comes from being able to accrete onto the snow. There's a whole graph that I won't get into today, but different kinds of snow come from different kinds of storms. And this kind of storm was not going to make fluffy, fun snow. This was always going to make that like, how'd you get a black eye from a snowball kind of snow? You know, this is black eye snowball kind of snow. And the Northeast has also been just like grossly, they've been done dirty. Everyone promised blizzards, promised snow, and then look at this. The sea surface temperature is just absolutely melting. It's almost like I'm thinking of this ocean as like a thermal mass right now, and usually the thermal mass effect hasn't carried on this far into, you know, winter. But the ocean's soaked up like pretty much like a lot of our heat, and it's giving it back. Basically, this is like blowing a snowstorm over this hot, soupy, boiling Atlantic Ocean right now is like holding a spoonful of ice cream over boiling water. Like, you know, it'll get the ingredients that were once ice cream will get to your mouth. And maybe some of them will still be a little bit cold, but it's like, that's not ice cream. That's not a blizzard. That's not ice cream. And I don't think it was just the GFS, because people will be like, don't look at just the GFS. But, and I'm doing it back to, I want to look at analysis, but let's look at, for example, just the raw GOES data. I like tropical tidbits for looking at different views and different products together, but sometimes I just want GOES. I really like the multispectral at night. I also really like looking at the microwave, daytime, nighttime microwave cloud combo, because isn't that just so beautiful? Oh my gosh, look at it. I really like this 10, the one that's what is it? High, thick, very cold cloud. It looks like it's sparkling out here. That's just like the stratosphere. That's I think actually that's technically alien clouds. No. As you can see, this is just warming up so much because I don't even. So the black is supposed to be high, thin cloud. Let's look for high, thick, mid-thick water ice cloud, tan. There's barely any tan. There's a lot of pink, pinky purple. See, this is the thing with this. I don't really agree with the way that they've colored this, but high ice clouds, yeah. Let's look for, oh, this shows, I really like looking at the derived motion winds too, because this is kind of like really showing the big, this is where we're going to see these like wind speeds come clip, just absolutely barreling through here. And you see this is kind of sucking down some air from north, but not enough to cool off this hot south. We could look at the upper level moisture. Yeah, see that. I mean, this is really drawing moisture, not even just from the Gulf, but from across Mexico. Like, this is getting Pacific, which makes me think that this is maybe like an El Nino effect a bit, that we're having this like wet, warm, just flop of a blizzard season. Absolute flops, I'd say. A lot of YouTubers did broadcast today, and what the storm was not a flop on the side of tornadoes. Let me tell you, there were so many tornadoes. The panhandle of Florida got absolutely smacked up. And there was like a very disrespectful squall line of storms that just, at one point, there was like a solid line of tornado watches that spanned from Florida through West Virginia. It's just a whole East Coast mashup here. We're about to see, I think, and it looks like cold air, or this polar air should be coming in here, but I'm not feeling it here. It has been very wet all day. I don't believe that dry for a second. Let's refresh looking at the Storm Prediction Center data. Upper level winds still coming down. Got some I'm always looking at this one to find divergence and convergence, seeing where it's sucking and blowing. There's the convergence. Actually, converging near my house. But as you can see, these temps, way too hot for winter, way too hot for a blizzard. You can't have 70 degree water this close to the coast and expect an effective nor'easter. But what I will say is that let's play through some of these real quick. This is just the first. Finn was a storm that identified as tropical. Finn said, no, I'll have none of your blizzard mess. But let's look, that happened just now. And we are about to see another one just magically form. Okay, let's look at that. Let's play that back. Let's roll the tape back and see how that played out for him. We see this low just sparsely scooching across the Rockies here. But what happens when it meets, as I told you, that like storms happen when these are parallel to each other, or when these are perpendicular to each other. Not always, but like, you know, mostly. These are just waiting for a trough to come down here and give it an excuse to run off to the northeast. And that's exactly what happens. As soon as this cold trough dips into the Four Corners region in Texas, it just really, once it gets over the plains, once it makes it over the Rockies, it's like, oh yeah, buddy, I got all that ocean juice. And it's the perfect geography to set up this kind of storm. It's just very great to have set up warm, moist air here, cold continental air here. And there we go. There's that. When you start to see this boomerang shape develop, then you can see the comma shape starting to develop. And look how tight those isobars are. That's going to be nasty wind, just absolutely disrespectful wind. And look how disrespectfully large this is. Just, I mean, we're going to have the same exact thing happen again this weekend, and it'll probably be more rain. This is what's called entrainment. This is, well, in my opinion, this is called entrainment. When a pattern starts to set up, it deepens itself, and then it deepens itself more, and it deepens itself more. And this is also how resonance works. I feel like it's like the first one sets the tone. The one that we had over the weekend, the one that was like a non-storm, that set the tone for this one. This one picked up the slack and said, okay, I'll do a little bit of snow over the Midwest, and like maybe we'll get some tornadoes popped off. And then this next one came in and it was like, yeah, but do you want to see the whole thing be snow? Actually, this won't be the whole thing be snow, because look at all that warm air still. I don't know. I don't know if I'm ever going to see snow again. I would like to. I would like to see it. But let's move on. We don't have to dwell on that. Do you want to look at the pretty microwave one again? Beautiful. It's just so sparkly and pretty. I want this on a t-shirt. It's really fun to see the different levels. So this is grouped by different phases of the water, and you get to see them moving across there very well. Latest space weather. We just, in the last few minutes, had some elevated solar activity, almost reaching M-class flare status, but like several significant C-class flares. This is when I was, this is but really a few, there were a few solar flares today, nothing too major. There was a halo with one of them. I think that's pretty fun. Oh, let's go back to this. How do I see all my solar flares? Or CMEs, I'm sorry. There were some CMEs today. Max X-ray flux of the past 2 hours. That's the one I was talking about. Might have some aurora tonight in Canada. I'd love to see that. Okay, let's look at latest CMEs. Coronal mass ejections. This is the one that had that halo. Say at 1500 UTC. Oh, nice. Would you look at that? Beautiful. There was also one that launched earlier that had just like a very straight pinpoint accuracy. It was angular width. I think it was this one. I don't know, that one. There was one that was really strong that had a very small angular width too. Oh, we had 2 with halos today. All right. That sun is just very active. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Let's go to our planetary weather today. We got the Capricorn stellium up here, of course, causing all kinds of trouble. It was a loved one's birthday today and got to celebrate with them, but it is definitely peak Capricorn season. This moon in Capricorn too is also, I mean, it's going to be the new moon tomorrow, but the moon in early degrees of Capricorn is, I think, giving juice to the Mars there. And Mars is making that great, perfect sextile with Saturn right now. So we are doing it. We are doing things. We're doing it. And we're certain about what we're doing, and we're going to do it. Well, maybe we're not certain about what we're doing, but gosh darn it, we're doing something. And we've also got Sun trine Uranus. And the sun is also squaring the nodes. What did I want to say about that? I just like the sun trine Uranus because Uranus has been transiting. I've got, if y'all don't know yet, I'm a Taurus. My sun is right around here at 25 degrees of Saturn. 25 degrees of Saturn. It's a Saturn ruled terms of Taurus. And man, oh man, I've felt like I am just a fish out of water my whole life. And now the water is coming to me, you know? Like, people didn't get me back in the water. The water got to my level. The tides rose. I feel like that's very much, this is creator energy. This is doing it. I mean, this is honestly the vibe of the podcast right now is listen, do I know what I'm doing? No. But I'm going to do it. And I have myself and my charisma, and gosh darn it, I'm going to try. What even hour are we in? It's a Mars day, obviously. Okay, we're in a sun hour. That's why I'm feeling so rizzed up. I've got when Mars sextile Saturn. Yeah. Sun square the nodes means that and the new moon is coming up. Sun square the new moon being, oh, that's what I wanted to say about that. The new moon being squared the nodes means that it's at either apogee or perigee. And Black Moon Lilith is apogee. So this, and it's currently in here in Virgo. So I believe that this is going to be at perigee. So this is going to be a very close to the Earth new moon. And it's going to be a new moon. Makes me think that all the gravity is going towards the sun. The sun and moon are lined up. That means that the sun and the moon are in the Earth right here. Both the sun and moon gravity is going that way. So I expect big things. I expect big eruptions. I expect, it's hard to forecast volcanoes and earthquakes because weather should be the easiest one out of those weather's the easiest to observe out of the rocks and the magma. Like you can go outside and look at the sky. And you can go outside and look at the earth too, but like it's very hard to observe anything other than the surface layer. The atmosphere is the fluid in which we are allowed to live and breathe and dwell. Like we don't even know as much about the ocean as we do about the atmosphere because we have to have so much technology to keep us alive down there. We spend our whole lives in the air. Like we should be able to predict it the best. And yet it's still failing miserably. So of course we can't predict, like we can't walk through ground yet. We can't breathe earth. So it's hard to go down, check things out down there. So it's hard to learn enough to forecast well. But I really think that we're going to bring all of this together soon. Maybe I need to get a little bit more rizzed up. Maybe I might make these shorter, might do more jokey jokes. I might start doing some pre-taped videos and actually editing. I might start writing tonight for that. But, oh, we got 2 people here. Hello. I didn't see we got 2 people here. Welcome. Welcome to the show. I hope it's my mom and my aunts. My cousins probably who it is. Let's do a little card reading. These are not devil magic cards. These are just motivational. I have a little deck of cards that have motivational truths about the universe. So I'm going to take this off, actually. Clear the air. My magic wand. Selenite. It's a good sound, isn't it? Do you like the ASMR? What if I did a whole episode in ASMR whispering? Would you guys like that? A little shuffle. Did you guys know that Bob Ross talked quiet on his stream because, on his show because they had the canvas really hyper mic'd and he couldn't talk loud or else you wouldn't hear the paintbrush. He wasn't just like super mellow. He's actually pretty mad. You hear how he just beat the devil out of that paintbrush. Yeah. All right, let's pick out something nice for the family. I have gotten this one before too. All right. Well-being is my natural state of being. Well-being is my natural state of being. It says, reach for the feeling of well-being first, and everything else will fall into place. Be selfish enough to follow your bliss, and you will tap into the natural, pure, positive essence of you. Very, very positive, very pure. Does it bring you joy? No? Don't do it. It's that easy. It's that easy, but it's that hard. All right. Y'all have been lovely. Thank you for coming again. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, blah, 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 blah. You don't really have to do that. If you want to tip me, you can. My link for coffee, buymeacoffee.com is in the description. And I'll also update it soon with a link to a place called Things to Get Me. And that's just going to be for studio equipment upgrades. Still broadcasting from a webcam. Hey, it's only week 2. And it's week 2 and I'm still here. I did it for a whole week and I'm still doing it. Pretty good for me. All right, I think that's about it for tonight. Kind of wish I had been right about I don't wish I had been right about the volcano exploding tonight. But I really feel like I'm going to see a volcano explode very soon this week, like this week or next week. Maybe either the new moon or the full moon, I'm thinking. Or the quarter moon. Okay, that's it for today. I love you guys. Drop a like, comment, whatever if you were here. I would love to know that there were people here. Or I'm just talking to myself in my basement. Okay. Good night.